Hey guys, in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how 3 guys from All Pro Home Solutions in Northern California is on track to close $200,000 in assignment fees with us here at Bold Deals. Let's go to the iPad and dive straight into it. As you can see on the left right here, you see every single lead that we have, or every single notification, I should say, right here is a contract, right? And this is our Slack channel, and this is where we are able to integrate with our clients and their CRMs in order to give us proper data as to how many leads they have under negotiation, how many offers they made, how many properties are going under contract, etc. So as you can see right here, in the time they've worked with us, they've gotten exactly 25 contracts. You can see it right there. It's really small. So more specifically in this video, I'm going to be showing you the proof, the results, our exact strategies. So the ads, the landing pages, the funnels, our sales process, everything included. What's working versus what's not working, and finally takeaways and action items that you can implement into your business to scale your wholesaling company. So another thing is proof that they're actually on track to close $200,000 is right here. Joe is this guy. This is Joe. Joe's the Asian guy. Well, all of us are Asian, but the tall one, right? The tall one is the easy way to put it. So right here, he said he's on track to close a little over $200,000 in his first 6 months with us here at Bold Deals, right? And to give an intro to everybody here, on the left, on my furthest left, that is Gerald. A little bit about him is that he actually used to be a barber and then transitioned to wholesaling. That's me in the middle. And then on the right is that is Darren, right? And he used to be in the medical space. I think he was a nurse or did something in regards to medical device sales. And we actually did a podcast here, as you can see, but watch that after we watch this case study. And to make it easier for you, I'll actually link it in the description in the next video. But let's dive straight into it. The first thing I actually want to share is a live seller call that Joe, the closer, actually closed on the phone. So it's a funny story because me and him, we were doing a podcast. It was me and Gerald, I believe. So a seller came in and he answers a call and tries to get the seller under contract. And long story short, he did not get that seller under contract on that day, on that Friday, but he got it under contract the second day. So I'm going to throw this video up and I hope you enjoy it.
You know what I mean? Oh, I have a lead calling me right now, actually.
Hey, a close on here would be crazy.
You get a call too?
Put it on.
Yeah.
Any key to connect?
Hello?
I really apologize. I'm sorry that it took so long before we finish up.
Oh, Gabriel, that's unacceptable. I think we're going to have to pass. I'm just kidding, Gabriel. No problem at all. I'm just messing with you.
That's good. I like that.
I know your mortgage is a little higher on the interest rate, which is why we wouldn't do that type of sale I was telling you about, the subject to your existing mortgage. Yeah, I was just going to say, I can send you over the agreement right now for the 15. We can close before Christmas.
Mm-hmm. That's good enough. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, my friend. I'll talk to you in a few minutes, okay?
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Close them on the line. You never want to say hang up. Don't hang up. Always get them on the line. Everything you do has to be in the seller's best interest, right? Don't say close, because when you say close, who does that benefit? It benefits you.
Yeah.
Do not ever say close. Say get you paid.
Oh, I like that.
Right? Don't ever say sign the contract. Say authorize the paperwork. It's little tweaks in verbiage, right? Like for him, he just got fired from his job. The thing is, like, yes, we'll help you get rid of your property, but to him, you got to confirm that time is what he values, right? We can get you paid in 2 weeks or less, yada, yada, yada. Does that make sense? Does that sound fair?
Yeah.
For me, some people don't like this close, but I like it. Cool. What do you feel like we should do? They'll be like, okay, the paperwork, right? Don't ever say sign the contract. Nobody likes to sign a contract, but okay, the paperwork.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
1000%.
Let's get a contract on this call. This would be crazy. This would be a crazy call.
Yes, sir.
I'm writing it up right now.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you for your time.
I appreciate you.
Whenever I do train acquisition teams or, hop on with clients, their acquisition managers, you have to be on the fly, and it's hard, right? Because if I know something works for me and somebody tells me to do something different, it's going to take me a while to adjust. But then the way I learned is like, you have to have a reason why. Why am I saying it this way as opposed to this way? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
The only feedback I would give is the part where you talk about closing the deal and making money. He doesn't care about that. Matter of fact, that's the last thing you want to tell him.
He said, I know you guys are going to make money. I'm not going to.
Easiest way, push it aside. I completely understand that. But Joe, this conversation here, it's not about me right now. It's about you, getting you paid, exit on your property. That way you can XYZ goal.
Good. I like that.
Brush it aside, dude. Just push it aside. He doesn't care about you. He should not know that you're gonna make money off of him. Never. He has a skepticism thing because obviously it's his first time. He's selling the most valuable asset in his life, being his property. You could have used a story, right? So have a real story like, hey, I helped Sally. She was going through XYZ. We helped her XYZ in 1, 2, 3 time frame. And that's exactly what we're here to help you with. You came to me, you clicked on my ad, you trusted our company to give you the amount of money you deserve, because obviously we don't want to be like these other companies giving you pennies on the dollar, yada, yada, yada. You came to us with a pain point. Sally had this pain point. Use that analogy. So let's make it about you, right? They don't care about you. Never make it about yourself. But dude, really solid call. Dude, that's got me so hyped. Is that one of our leads?
Yeah.
When did he come in?
Remember yesterday?
Oh shit, he came in yesterday?
Yeah.
All right, it should be at the top of your email list now. Yeah, you just press that one, and then it'll kind of guide you through the document. Okay. And at the very bottom, there's a signature line.
Are you following me? Or?
Oh, it says completed. Okay, cool. So congratulations.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, and have a great rest of your weekend, Gabriel. And you'll expect my call, and I'll keep you updated every step of the way. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Gabriel.
Great. I hope you enjoyed that. Going back, let's dive straight into our ad campaigns and the results he got from it. So let's zoom in. As you can see, it's All Pro Home Solutions right there. This is our campaign. It's the top of funnel campaign in the first phase. And this campaign, as you can see, has generated 501 motivated sellers who actually need to sell as opposed to just wanting to sell. The beautiful thing about running inbound marketing campaigns is that the sellers are coming to us instead of us going to them, right? This, as a result, leads to higher quality conversations with the sellers. And the best part is they're serious about selling as opposed to just being curious, shopping around, things of that sort, right? And whenever you could speak to a seller that is willing to take a deeper discount, that gives you the opportunity to sell the deal for a bigger assignment fee, increasing your bottom line profits, right? Increasing your average assignment fee is by far one of the best levers you can pull in order to increase the profitability within your wholesaling company, right? Because at the end of the day, we're not optimizing for most amount of leads. We're not optimizing for most amount of contracts, not even optimizing for the most amount of deals. For us and our clients here at Bolt Deals, we're optimizing for the most profit or free cash flow at the end of every month and at the end of every year. And if you don't know what free cash flow is, it's basically how much cash can we actually take outside of the company and go blow it on cars, houses, whatever you so please, right? This free cash flow, in my personal opinion, is why people are in business, in addition to actually serving their community. So let's go back to the KPIs. Right here is $45 cost per lead. Really, really healthy given the markets that they're in. And for context, they're in markets I call local plus. And what that means is they're in their primary market of Northern California, Sacramento, Bay Area, so that triangle. And they're in about 5 to 8 other markets around the country, right? So that's what I call local plus. And from April 1st to January of this year, they have spent a little over $22,000 with us here at Bolt Deals, which, if you break that down, is about $3,000 a month, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or you could do the math there. Ad spend, as you saw, is $22,501 leads. Our platform is Facebook ads. A lot of investors ask, what is the difference between Facebook ads and Google ads? Let's break that down. Facebook ads is perfect if you're just getting into inbound marketing, right? Facebook, the easiest way to think about it, it's a volume over anything. It's volume over quality. PPC is quality over volume. And let's use numbers to actually back this up. The average lead to contract rate with Facebook, right, is 1 out of 20 to 25. That's average KPI. With PPC, it's 1 out of 10 to 12, right? And I've seen some of our clients on Facebook get 1 out of 10 leads under contract on Facebook. And on PPC, I've seen clients perform as well as 1 out of 4 to 5 leads coming in, right? So that means on PPC, you can convert around 25% of leads that come in to a contract, which is extremely, extremely high. And then on Facebook, it can be about 5 to 10% lead to contract rate, which is extremely healthy. Because if you look at the alternative of cold calling, you're getting 1 out of 50 leads, and that's good KPI, right? Average is 80 to 100, meaning you have to sift through 80 to even 100 motivated sellers who have raised their hand or went through your cold caller to potentially get a deal. And for us and our clients, they value time, speed, and scalability more than anything, which is why we love inbound marketing so much. And another thing is the ability to scale. What do I mean by that? With inbound marketing, you can turn it up as much as you want, or you can turn it down as much as you want. With cold calling, you have to hire more cold callers. You got to train them. You got to ramp them. You got to make sure they're not, stiffing you of hourly pay. If you've ran a cold calling team before, I think you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. So this is why we love Facebook ads. They work 24/7. We don't have to complain, or they don't complain to us, or anything like that. So going back to this, cost per lead, as you saw, is $45, which is extremely healthy. Contracts is 25 contracts, as you saw in the first picture. And actually, I want to calculate a metric right here. If they got 25 contracts out of 501 leads, their average lead to contract rate is 20.4%. No, 1 out of 20. My apologies. So their average lead to contract ratio is 1 out of 20, which is literally within KPI and really healthy, right? So with that said, let's talk about our cost per contract. The way you calculate cost per contract is really simple. Take the total amount of ad spend divided by number of contracts. And in this case, we got a contract of $909, almost $1,000, which is extremely healthy. Average assignment fee is not correct here. It says $150, but as you saw earlier within the text, it's supposed to be $200,000. The reason why I say projected is because we don't have full confirmation. I'd rather get full confirmation when they actually close. And to me, a closed deal is when a deal actually makes it to your bank, right? You've actually gotten the wire for the assignment fee, right? So with that said, let's talk about the reality behind this, right? Because I believe that I share so much of the good side of it. I feel like it's really important for us to also share the negatives, right? Because being in real estate, we both know that there are negatives to it, right? And I want to share that. So first things first, in the first 3 months with us here at Bolt Deals, they did not get a single contract, which is not good, right? And they were pretty much on the borderline of leaving us. And I know they're going to be watching this. Transparently, guys, I'm glad that you didn't, and I'm glad that you guys pulled through and have trusted us to actually help you scale your business, right? Even come out, but I'll dive into that later. And eventually, we fell short of our goal of $200,000 in the first 6 months. I know it's going to take a little bit more time, but that's real estate. Things aren't always on a positive uptrend, and as long as we just persevere through it, we will eventually win, right? So why deals fell through? So not every contract converted into a closing. That's typical. And if that's something you're running into right now, what we've noticed is that the biggest cause of this is an acquisitions issue. Here's what I mean. Many investors that I've spoken to, at least over the last 4 years, they believe that the biggest constraint, especially on the back of the dispo side, is lack of buyers or something like that, right? They'll come to me and they're like, hey, I have a disposition issue. I don't have enough buyers for my deals. And if I find enough buyers to actually sell my deals to, we will unlock tremendous growth. But when we actually dig deeper and figure out why aren't these deals selling, it's an acquisitions issue. For example, if you have an acquisition manager that locks up deals at 95% ARV, the chances of you selling that deal is very little to none, right? So the question that becomes, is that a dispositions issue or is that an acquisitions issue? In my personal opinion, it's an acquisitions issue, because if you lock up deals at a realistic ARV, and on top of that, you market the deal properly, the deal should sell itself, right? If you sell a good, for example, if you get a deal at 40% ARV, if you happen to, buyers are going to flock to that deal. But if you lock up a deal at 95, 98% ARV where there's pretty much no margin for the buyer, it's going to be really hard to dispo that, right? So your dispositions issue can be solved within your acquisitions. So I hope that's a mindset shift that has helped you out a lot, because many investors I speak to, they never look at that, right? They're just so focused. Just take a step back and zoom out to see the entire picture, right? So let's talk about why I also believe that it took them a little bit longer to get their first deal, because transparently for us, our average client gets their first deal in the first 4 to 6 weeks of them working with us, right? So the first thing is they switch from outbound marketing to inbound marketing. What do I mean by that, right? When you're going from outbound marketing, you pretty much have sellers yelling at you. They're just beating you up. to where inbound marketing, sellers are raising their hand. So the conversation's a little bit different. It should be easier, but there's still a learning curve that comes with it, right? Because not everybody that comes in is a laydown. You still have to work that lead, right? And the way we went around this is one-on-one consulting. So every single one of our clients and their teams, they get direct access to JT. He's our director of client success. And a little bit about him is that he's been in business for a little over 25 years now. He's coached and consulted with 2/3 of Fortune 500 companies. And on top of that, he's built a land flipping, land wholesaling company himself out of Dallas, right? So we were able to sit down, role play with them, strategize, pretty much get them prepared to actually close deals with inbound marketing, right? And as you can see, this little screenshot from down here from our director of client success. And then as a result, we also help with steady momentum, because with inbound marketing, you want to give it time, right? If you're not giving it time, specifically around 3 to 4 months, chances are you probably shouldn't do it at all, right? If, for example, if an investor comes to me and they're like, hey, I only want to run inbound marketing for 2-3 months, my answer is just don't run it at all, right? Because you have to give every single marketing channel a sufficient amount of time in order for it to actually ramp up and produce real fruits that are realistic, right? Running something for 1 or 2 weeks or 1 or 2 months is transparently not even worth it, right? The next thing is the popcorn effect. And you may have seen this in some of my other videos, but if you haven't, and this is your first time, first off, welcome. I appreciate you giving me the most valuable asset in your life, that being your attention. So the best way to explain the popcorn effect is think of putting popcorn in the microwave, right? For the first 30 seconds of it in there, it's just nothing's happening. There's not a single kernel popping, nothing happens, it's just still. But the second the first kernel pops, everything else pops with it, right? So another way to frame this is a snowball effect, where as more time goes by, the longer it rolls down the hill, the bigger it gets, right? So correlating it to this example, all it takes is for you to get your first deal, and once you get your first deal, the second, third, fourth, fifth one are right around the corner, right? So perseverance, consistency, not giving up is extremely, extremely important, especially when you're doing inbound marketing. The last thing is feedback cycle should have been quicker. What do I mean by this? We should have known, or transparently, we already knew, but we should have pivoted a lot quicker to help them get their first deal. So for us, that's transparently as an agency, something we can always do better. And with all of our clients, we're always noticing things that we can always do better. So to me, that's really important. And food for thought for everybody. If you talk to an agency and they have nothing to improve on, that's probably not somebody you want to work with. In my personal opinion, you do whatever you want with your money. It's your money, not mine. Now let's talk about our exact strategy, right? How do we run paid traffic campaigns? Hey, hope you're enjoying this video. By the way, if you're a virtual wholesaler who's closing 2 or more deals per month and you're looking to scale with the exact inbound marketing system that we use to generate 4, 5, or even 10x return on their ad spends with Facebook or PPC, click the link in the description or in the comments to schedule a call with either me or a member of my team, and I'd love to show you exactly how we can help. With that said, back to the video. How do we actually run ads for motivated sellers? So starting with the ad creative, I like to go a step further. Here's what I mean by this. Most people run generic we buy houses cash offer as is ads. And those work, they're great. And obviously the people run them for a reason, but we actually want to go a step further, right? What do I mean by these? We like to run ads that target specific motivations. That way we can get a higher quality lead because we're calling out our avatar. So for us, this is just an example. I know some people will copy this or screenshot it, but for example, on the left right here, we have a foreclosure ad, right? Don't lose. So this is more of a creative finance ad. This one's tire landlord, and then this one is pre-FC, right? So we like to run these ads, and what typically happens is whenever a seller clicks on these ads, it gets redirected to a landing page or a lead form. And on the first step, we try to get the 4 main pillars: motivation, timeline, property info, and asking price. And from there, sellers have the option to actually schedule an appointment directly with our acquisition manager, not ours, but our client's acquisition manager, in order to pretty much get an offer directly. And the best part is, right after this, sellers have the option to call you directly, right? We talk a lot about speed to lead, and I'm pretty sure you yourself have heard of the importance of speed to lead. Matter of fact, Harvard Business School, I believe, did a review where if you don't call a lead within the first 5 minutes of them coming in, you lose the chances of actually converting that lead by over 70%, right? So how do we fix this? Either improve your speed to lead or have the lead call us. So on the thank you page, the seller has the option to click a button and call the company directly, call the acquisition manager directly, and negotiate the deal from there. Just speak to the seller directly. I mean, transparently, you can't beat that speed to lead in my personal opinion, right? In addition to that, we have lead managers that help out the client when it comes to actually pre-vetting the lead, confirming the information, things like that, right? So for some of our clients, whenever a lead comes in, they have the option to opt into our lead manager service, or we can actually call the seller within the 5 minutes of them coming in and put them through a live qualification phase. And the way the live qualification phase is into really 5/6 steps, right? The opening and connecting phase. So what does this look like? We pretty much call them up. It's like, hey, seller, I know you just opted into one of our ads about selling your property on 123 Main Street. Is that correct? They say yes. Cool. By the way, is there anything that stood out to you about the ad that caught your attention and motivated you to opt in? You say, I am going through this, and that, yada, yada, yada. They're giving you information and telling you right on the spot why they opted into your ad, right? And then from there, you want to state your agenda. Hey, what I typically find works best, I want to take some time, get some information about you, your current situation, what's going on, and how I can best serve you. If it makes sense, I'm more than happy to make you a no obligation cash offer and work with you to helping you exit your property, which is one of the most valuable assets within your life. Does that sound fair? They say yes. Cool. Move on. And then you get the current situation, ask them what's going on, and probe. Why is that happening? How long has it been going on for? Has that an impact on you? In what way? Things like that. Property information. So this is like their bedroom, their bathroom. How's their AC? When's the last time they fixed the roof? Electrical, plumbing. I mean, you guys get this part pretty well, right? So that's exactly how we do that. Set expectations. You tell the seller, hey, how this process is going to work, what they can expect, because the last thing we want to prevent is seller's remorse. What is seller's remorse? You hard close a seller and get them to sign a contract, and then the next day they back out, right? Can you go all corporate and tell them, hey, it's a contract, and go sell? If that's you and that's how you run, there's nothing wrong with it, right? They sign a contract, but sometimes it's just better to let go, in my personal opinion, or prevent it in the first place. Again, run your business however you want, right? This is how we do ours, at least. So that's our script, and let's talk about pillars that contributed to their success. The first thing is virtual targeting. What do I mean by this? Many investors have the common misconception that the more markets you go into, the more expensive it gets. But what if I told you it was the other way around? Meaning, the more markets you go into, the cheaper it gets. You may be wondering, how does this happen? I'll tell you. The reason this happens is because if you give Facebook or Google the opportunity to target more markets, it pretty much makes it easier for them to reach impressions or gain impressions, meaning your CPMs go down. And as a domino effect, everything else goes down, right? So more markets equals lower CPM, and lower CPMs equals lower cost per click, cost per lead, cost per appointment, cost per deal, and a higher return on ad spend, which is what we're aiming for. The higher your return on ad spend is, the more profitable your company is, the more profitable your marketing is, and you can unleash infinite scale, in my personal opinion. At least that's how we operate with our clients, right? So the next thing is persistence and trusting the process. As you saw, they had a rocky start. I will be first to admit it. They had a rocky start with us here at Bolt Deals, but because they trusted us and our team to keep things going, which is why I believe they were so successful. And lastly, it's multiple exit strategies. When they first started, I believe they were only doing cash offers, but they eventually pivoted to other exit strategies like creative finance as well as novations. And what this does, as an example with novations, is that you can double your average assignment fee, which as a result increases your profit, increases your return on ad spend, and helps you maximize the amount of opportunities and squeeze the juice within your pipeline, right? This is why we love working with clients that do multiple exit strategies as opposed to just cash offers. And if you're running the 70% minus repairs, minus wholesale fee, and you're still using that formula to calculate your maximum allowable offer, you might have to pivot, right? In my personal opinion. Again, everything I'm saying here is my personal opinion. You do whatever you want. This is what we would do, and this is what we notice works best. So with that said, I want to talk about what's actually next for All Pro with Bolt Deals, right? The first thing is running a one-on-one intensive in Austin, right? So the footage for this is already out, but after this video, I will actually link the vlog they did with us in person, as well as their podcast highlighting their entire story. As you can see, they confirmed we already recorded it. It's already up there. Watch it after this video. Don't leave this video just yet, right? And the next thing is scaling up their JV partnership with us here at Bold Deals. So what this is a unique opportunity for all of our clients and them to actually JV and get more deals to the closing on. How does this work, right? So let's say a client's working with me and they're based in Texas, right? But they got a deal in California. Oh no, they don't have buyers in California. What do? They can actually submit a form, and that information of the lead and the contract, let's say they get it on the contract, but they can't sell it. They can connect. We can connect our two clients with each other, client in Texas and All Pro together, and they can actually get that deal to the finish line. We love this because this is an extra deal source for everybody. Both parties win, and it's a massive profit lever because there's no cost per acquisition. So it's infinite scale, right? Which is also why they're building their brand as well, which is something I'm really excited to help them out with, right? So with that said, let's talk about some takeaways, right? Luck is when opportunity meets consistency. Everybody talks about, hey, how can I maximize my luck? That guy is so lucky. Why am I not as lucky? You can create your own luck. And this is actually something I learned from one of my favorite books. We're going a little off topic here, but this book is The 38 Letters from John D. Rockefeller to his son. One of the lessons he talks about is creating luck. And another lesson is in there is where you start is not where you end, right? So just because you came from rags doesn't mean you can't achieve riches. But topic for another day. That's going to be exciting. We're going to have a video specifically on that, but not today. So if you want to create luck, right, it's simple. You have to understand that you have to take on every opportunity that is presented your way. Pretty much say yes to everything, because what do you have to lose, right? And for those who is saying, oh, my time is valuable, if you're not making much money, your time's not that valuable. Sorry to break it to you, but if you are making money, it might be worth it to explore the opportunity and scale your business. I don't say that to offend you. I say that to inspire upon you. That way you can build your business, make more money, and tell me how grateful you are for me one day. I don't know. Second thing, when things are working, it's time to double down. I am guilty of this myself, but when things are going well, I like to sort of coast, which is not good. I've gotten out of this habit, and I'm very proud of that. But when things are working well, understand that somebody behind you who's doing less than you is going to come in and take everything from you. So if you don't jump in and maximize, pedal to the metal, somebody is going to take that opportunity away from you. Third, partner for profits. This is pretty much the JV proposal I was talking about here, right? People talk about competition, like, oh, this guy's in my market, he's taking all my deals. He could if you're sitting on the sidelines doing nothing. But you can also partner with him because there are things that you can learn from him and things he can learn from you, and you guys can both grow, right? My personal opinion. As a side note, I've gotten the opportunity, I should say, to meet with a few of my competitors, and what I've noticed is that they're not terrible people. It's all in your head, right? Because sometimes I see wholesalers beat with each other. I think it's really funny. The marketing agency space for wholesalers is also pretty competitive, right? There's tons of people, but most people they're good people. There's some idiots out there, don't get me wrong, but most people, they're just genuine human beings, and everybody wants to win. And another thing is that there's food for everybody on the table, right? Just stay in your lane, help each other grow. That's my personal opinion, but do whatever you want. Trust the process and the popcorn effect. I mentioned this earlier. Inbound marketing is not a get rich quick. If you have the mindset that this is gonna triple your business in the next 90 days, it absolutely can. What is the likelihood of it? Very low, right? The reason why I say that is because if you checked out any one of my other YouTube videos, we scaled a guy from $0 to $214,000 per month in closed assignment fees in 6 weeks, right? So it's possible. It's not common though. So if you're doing this and you're just a normal wholesaler who's trying to make extra money on the side, that way you take care of your family, trust the process and understand that once the first deal pops, once you find what's working, everything else will pay for itself. All it takes is one deal and everything else will change, right? There's a quote I actually want to add and share from Warren Buffett. It's either Warren Buffett or Charlie Munger, where he states, the first $100,000 is a bitch, and then everything after that is easy. It goes something along the lines of that. So you pretty much have to brute force your way to reaching your first taste of success. And then from there, everything goes, should go your way, assuming you don't do stupid stuff. So with that said, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I actually want to share a little picture because this is something that I'm really proud of, where one of my goals and visions have always been having clients come out on the podcast, sharing their stories, their backgrounds, how they actually got into real estate, what advice, what tips they wish they knew when they first started, to share that with you. So if you enjoy this video, all I ask is you show me that you appreciate the video and you got value out of it. Comment any questions, concerns, takeaways. I will answer those questions directly. Those are me. I don't have anybody else. And if you enjoyed this video, I'm very, very confident that you're going to enjoy the vlog and the podcast as well. And you can do that by subscribing, turning on a post notification bell. And yeah, so I'm pretty excited. As you can see on the top here, that's the podcast. On the bottom here, that's just a picture of them in my apartment. So again, my name is Benjamin, CEO and founder here at Bolt Deals. And by the way, if you are a wholesaler who's doing 2 or more deals per month and you're looking to double, triple, or even 5x your current deal flow and profits with inbound marketing, whether that's Facebook ads or Google ads, click the link below in the description or DM me on Instagram. And I'd love to hop on a call and speak with you personally to show you exactly how it can help you scale your wholesaling or your real estate flipping company. With that said, my name is Benjamin. I look forward to seeing you in the next video, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Goodbye.